How would you describe your relationship with your father?
My relationship with my father has always been stable for as long as I remember. He's always looked at me like he's a little innocent girl.
How has your marriage with Othello impacted your relationship with your father?
From day one, my father has never really been pleased with Othello. He was always being fed lies from Iago and accused Othello of just ruining my reputation. My relationship with my father went downhill as I felt like I had to prove myself and the man I loved to him. My father, after a while, just said he was done and didn't want anything to do with it. I was basically no longer my dad's little innocent girl.
What are your thoughts and views on women cheating on their husbands?
Well, we all have our views on women cheating on their husbands, but I don't think it's okay to do such a thing. I could never even think about doing that to Othello because my love for Othello was so strong. By cheating on him, I would be betraying him, and when you're with someone, you're supposed to be committed to them. Othello didn't believe me when he asked if I was cheating on him, and I felt like I had to explain myself to him, but he never fully understood. He was being fed lies from Iago, so that just made him more mad about it all. At one point, Othello was so mad that I felt like he wasn't even my husband. I didn't even recognize him. If you had known how your life would have ended at the hands of your husband, would you still have chosen Othello over your other suitors?
Othello and I shared a love that was unlike anything I had ever heard of or experienced. Although our life together ended tragically, I will always treasure every moment we shared. I do not regret choosing Othello over any other man who wished for my hand. We shared enough love to last many lifetimes, even though we were only physically together for a while. And in my mind, I would rather have a passionate and short-lived love than a long, loveless marriage.
Had you found out your fate once you were already married, what would you have done?
It's my strong belief that a wife should remain obedient to her husband. No matter what they face, they must always stand together. Othello had his heart broken by what he thought I had done, so I do not blame him for what he did to me because he wasn't in his right mind and he was terribly deceived by Iago. I would never leave my husband even if I knew he would eventually harm me. I would have stayed with my husband and loved him while I could. What was running through your mind when Othello told you he had decided to kill you?
My mind was going in every direction, trying to comprehend what he was saying. In my mind, I did not quite understand why he was saying what he was saying, but at that moment when he asked if I'd prayed tonight, I started to understand what he was referring to with a sense of murder in his mind.
Why did you clear Othello of his guilt? It seems like you were trying to protect him.
I cleared Othello of his guilt because I knew his intentions were made throughout love. Othello was under a false impression that led him to his hurtful actions.
Do you think Othello overreacted with your relationship with Cassio?
I believe Othello was overreacting with my relationship with Cassio because our relationship was very innocent. My relationship with Cassio had no significance, whereas my love for Othello was very strong. Of course, Othello had the wrong intention of what exactly our relationship was. Othello has always had a very passionate way of expressing his emotional thoughts.